This is Agent 47, and you're watching Everything 47.
As you just heard David Bateson say, yes, this is Everything 47, and today I sit down with the wonderful David Bateson to discuss his time on the Hitman games, as well as future, past and present projects, and quite how he got into acting and where he is today. However, I would like to add this at the start, and there'll probably be a bit at the end, just to say, please do subscribe if you enjoy this content. It was a couple of weeks in the making, and I'm very grateful to David Bateson to obviously spending some of his time with me to sit down and talk. So without further ado, enjoy.
So obviously the Hitman franchise has been around for over 20 years now. Is there a
Yeah.
particular game you've enjoyed working on the most?
Absolute Solution, because it was so story driven. It felt like a film.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite funky to have Agent 47 struggling to understand a teenage girl.
Yeah.
And it was very Leon in feel. And then I would say, in all honesty, the last three in a row have been amazing. Hitman 3 just blew my socks off, but because the storyline was so fantastic.
Yeah. Absolution and the latest trilogy have all been incredibly story driven. So you've obviously ended up with a lot more voice acting work in it and such.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? In the last three games, which was one story, I started to notice it a bit in Hitman 1. But when we got to Hitman 2 and I got the script, I went, what the hell is this? What are we doing? Whatever happened to the silent assassin? Because he started to have like verbal diarrhea. And that was fun. But I said, well, what's the idea? And they said, listen, trust us, David. We feel that it's a way of making the fans feel more like they're involved in the game. So that when for example, I would take on a disguise, there would normally be kind of long periods where Agent 47 in disguise would work his way through a room, dressed as a waiter or dressed as a whatever. And they thought these long bits of silence it's dead space. Let's give him all kind of meaningless lines to say, as a waiter going, another slice of lemon in your drink, more ice. And you're going, what? Agent 47? But it actually, I have to say it worked. Because when I played it, I haven't played it all the way through, but you did feel more involved as a player with Agent 47. You felt like you were in this together.
Yeah.
And so they were right. And so by the time we got to Hitman 3, that was the biggest script I've ever seen, because we had a lot to say.
Yeah. So obviously, you've been in the acting industry for a pretty long time now. I'd like to ask, how sort of did you get started in the industry, obviously?
Yeah, by accident. And that's fun, because I didn't set out to become an actor at all. And maybe that's a good thing, because how do I say this? I like to trust my instincts. In a way, it can be annoying, because I can't not do what my instincts are telling me to do. And what I mean by that is, I didn't have an ambition as an 11-year-old going, I want to be an actor. I'm going to whatever. I was interested in journalism or architecture when I went to university, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And it was the student advisor that strongly suggested that I do 1 year at least of speech and drama. And I went, what the hell? Why? And he said, well, on your aptitude tests, your creative, the questions to do with creativity and the arts literally are off the scale. They just leave the page or the computer screen. And I think he knew more than he was telling me. But anyway, I went, okay, I'll do 1 year speech and drama, because he recommended. And when you have the first 4 weeks and you can decide to change that one of your subjects and change to another. And I'd already in my mind thought, okay, I'll give it 4 weeks, and then I'll change to philosophy or political science.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the last week, and that's when my instinct kicked in, and I thought, wait a minute, out of the 5 subjects of this speech and drama course, I really like 3 of them, and that's over half. Damn, I like this more than I don't like it. I gotta just go with it. I don't know where it's gonna lead me, but I have to trust my instincts that I like this subject. And I still had no intention of being an actor. So that's the kind of weird potted story of, how I kind of fell into acting.
Fair enough. So, I mean, you do probably get asked this quite a lot, but what happened with Absolution? Because I know it's quite a confusing way in how you obviously got back into the role.
Oh, you mean, yeah, because I lost the role. Yeah.
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, a lot of dead people around now. No. It was weird. I at that point, I'd been playing the role for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, there'd been a 5-6 year gap between games, Absolution. It was 6 years. So in that long waiting period, the whole engine had become obsolete, and they had to restart with a whole new engine.
Mm-hmm.
And so things got delayed, but we'd always talked about, yeah, okay, when the next game comes up, Absolution, well, you go back to work as Agent 47. So I didn't think anything of it. And then someone, somewhere along the line at IO Interactive in this long hiatus, thought, hey, let's go in a new direction. And so they got Tom Cruise's cousin.
Wow.
And then I didn't know that. They'd been working with him in secret for a long time.
Oh.
And then they were at the E3 in Los Angeles, where they played a little teaser. And normally at these events, you don't hear the Agent 47's voice. You normally hear this kind of treble voice going, no one knows what he looks like. Agent, some big jock's macho voice. And no, they actually had his voice in the thing, in this little teaser thing. And then my phone lit up. And with the fans on Twitter and every form of media, just my phone, I thought was having a heart attack. And I didn't, it was a Sunday morning. It started on the Saturday, and then the Sunday morning, my phone, I just had to turn it off. And I phoned actually one of the guys on the Sunday, and he was changing planes in Schiphol Airport in Holland. And I managed to catch him, and he took the phone, and I went, listen, what's going on? The fans are saying I'm not. Why aren't I playing the role anymore? And I'm going, but I am, aren't I? And there was kind of a long, awkward silence. So that wasn't handled particularly well by IO Interactive, but they made up for it. They made up for it big time, because they realized that the fans were serious when they said, we're not going to buy the game. And when they opened it up for pre-orders, and they didn't for like 4 months. And I think they started to get nervous. So they weren't owned by Interactive. They were owned by Square Enix at that point. And they went behind the backs of Square Enix to call me and get me in to record all the lines. And then they flew over, I think it was to Montreal, and said, listen, I know we shouldn't have done this. You could fire us for it, but what do you think? Here's the old voice, and here's the new guy, and here's the old guy. What do you think? And they went with it, luckily. The powers that be at Square Enix, and agreed and said, listen, let's go back to the original voice. So all way to go, IO Interactive, and way to go, Square Enix, for also agreeing on it.
Yeah, it's good you got back into the part at the end.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Oh, I mean, there was no hard feelings, but of course, they can choose to whoever they want, and do whatever they want. It's not my game. But it came as a bit of a surprise, and it definitely upset the fans. So
yeah,
the fans
yeah.
rock, in my opinion.
Speaking of the sort of voice work and all the games as a whole, is there a particular sort of line you remember doing in like any of the games? Just one you particularly remember?
Well, yeah, this is going to haunt me to my grave. In fact, I might even have it on my grave. I need to use the bathroom. You know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, that is, what the hell are you guys on out there? That is such a funny line to be associated with.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking
I
about
did
the
an
line at the
interview
moment and stuff.
early in January or something, and some guy said to me in the studio, said, "Hey, do you know that this line, I need to use the bathroom, is one of the most used lines ever in memes last year, 2020." I went, "What?" Yeah, together with "A man has fallen into the river," which is from
Yeah, I
Lego
saw about that.
City. And I thought, what the hell is going on out there? Because I did Lego for 10 years, and
Yeah.
that was one of them. So you never know. When I wake up in the morning, I'm not thinking, "A man has fallen into the river. It's going to make me famous," or "I need to use the bathroom." You know. So
Yeah.
cool.
Wild. But speaking of the games and stuff, is there any you've played personally yourself, and do you have sort of a favourite kill in the game?
Yeah. I do. You know, way back in, oh shit, I don't know if it was Codename 47 or Silent Assassin, when they was in St. Petersburg. I loved that level in St. Petersburg because of the snow. And there's these big kind of granite, you know, buildings and wide, boulevards, you know, and the crunching snow and this sort of at night time, and it just felt so atmospheric and haunting, and
Yeah.
I love that. I love that level, and that stayed with me for many years as my favorite level. In terms of hits, when we got to I mean, I got loads from Blood Money, from Absolution, but when we got to the last three, the generation of Hitman 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah.
Paris blew me away. But my favorite level, I think, has been so far. I haven't played all of Hitman 3 yet, so I will reserve judgment. But on Hitman 1 and 2, at least, Sapienza in Italy. I love that one. Sometimes I just go there and I hang out. I don't even kill the guy. I just kind of going, yeah, Agent 47 is going to take his summer holidays right here, you know. And then I just walk around. So that's fun. But as a kill, it still would be Paris. I know he's dropped things on people's heads quite a lot over the years, but that big fuck off chandelier in the fashion show, that's like et voila. It's just such a beautiful moment. Again, what a way to go. So that's probably one of my favorite kills.
So obviously, but when they inevitably make another Hitman game, just sort of hope to obviously be brought back into the role again, in whatever form that takes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously now there's going to be quite a break because of James Bond.
Yeah.
And that's fine, and that's understandable. It wouldn't be a good idea to have these two assassins competing with each other at the same time. So it's naturally expected that Hitman's going to be put on the shelf for a while. But I mean, they would be criminally insane to stop Hitman. Why do that? When it comes back, I don't know. I don't know if I'm still in it because I don't know what their plans are. So if they're going to reboot it as Hitman: The Teenage Years, and it's going to some hello, I'm Hitman. I'm going to kill my school teacher. I don't know. Made me laugh actually, but so I honestly don't know, but I'm sure Hitman's going to come back, and of course I would kill to play Agent 47. So I miss that guy.
So obviously, Hitman aside, is there any sort of other? Because you're a pretty accomplished actor on stage and screen. Is there another project you're sort of particularly proud of?
Well, I'm filming something right now, which is why I'm growing, starting to grow a little sort of goatee here, whatever you call it. But that's a TV series. That's a big TV series in Copenhagen. Actually, a comedy, but it has some pretty serious stuff. It's called The Orchestra, and where I play a famous English conductor, Daniel Mabelwood, who's a very pretentious, famous, conductor who's invited to take over the control of the symphony orchestra, the National Symphony Orchestra in Denmark. So, actually, we're nearly finished shooting. We're just missing a week's filming with the orchestra, which is obviously all the different scenes where we're conducting have been put into 1 week. So that's going to be a very challenging experience as an actor for me, because I've never conducted anyone. I've had a day's workshop as a conductor with 3 other actors who are all going to be conducting, and they're going to give us a refresher day next week, actually. And then the last week of March, I'll be standing in front of 106 musicians going, right, Mahler's Sixth Symphony, here goes. It's going to be a bloody train crash, this thing, and I'm going to try and conduct the orchestra. I will say this, there will be a real conductor out of shot, because, but you just don't want to embarrass yourself in front of 106 musicians, professional musicians, and also the entire country, or when this goes to Netflix or wherever it ends up, at the beginning, what a dick! He doesn't know how to direct traffic. Never mind direct, an orchestra.
Yeah.
So, as an actor, those kind of challenges are fun but scary. So that's what I've got coming up to finish off. And actually, this morning at 7:30 in the morning, I get an email about another project, which I'm not able to talk about, but that could be some good film work coming up in the spring, a little later next month, a month after, something like that. So you never know, jobs come at very short notice when you least expect it. But I've got voiceover work all the time, so that keeps me off the streets.
Yeah, you've got a very iconic voice at this point.
Yeah, it's I've just got a big London voiceover agent, Soho Voices, which I landed actually because of Jane Perry, who plays Diana Burnwood. So I owe her. She's represented by the same agency. The thing is, so I get work from that agency in London, and they hook me up through SourceLink, and I do my voiceovers in Denmark and save the airfare, because no one can fly anywhere at the moment. So that's fun, and I don't know what will come of that, but obviously I'm in the market for future computer games, so we're looking into that, both in London and also in LA. So I'm definitely in the market for a new fabulous role in a computer game, obviously, but we'll see.
Well, I suppose that does kind of tie into this question. Have you got any new projects that people should be on the lookout for, which is obviously the orchestra?
Yeah. Well, the orchestra, and there's a new HBO TV series, which I only have a bit part in, but I did it because it was fun, because I got to be in what do you call it, an aircraft simulator, and I thought, I'll do this. This should be fun. Where you're in a fuselage of a plane that's where they simulate air turbulence just for training purposes. Anyway, that was the set we got to use out at my airport in Copenhagen. So that's why I said yes to the job, just because of that. I went, oh, gosh, wait, shit, man, this is fun. Bouncing around on a plane with all these passengers. I'm playing a very nervous passenger. That's a TV series called Kamikaze. I play a doctor in another series, a documentary drama series. I don't know what it's going to be called, about paranormal stuff. True story
Mhm.
about voodoo. Uh, in film work, I tend to get villains
Really?
normally. Yeah, I don't know why. I just said to kill it. Oh, he kills people. Look at that face. He'd kill anything. Which is maybe not it's fine, but TV is I've everything played a CIA agent having an affair with the head of the Danish police force. A series called Bodyguards. That was a while ago now, but I think that's out there. I think they put that out with subtitles because it's in Danish. My role was an American. Obviously, I'm playing it in English.
I think I've
But
seen a clip from that.
yeah, well, yeah, it might be on my website. I've got a clip from it. But actually, that was a story because they made that into a big European co-production called The Team, and they wrote from week to week on this series, Livvagterna, Bodyguards, which is like the Danish version of MI6. And they kept writing my role in from week to week, and then I was written out after 4 or 5 episodes, and then suddenly I came back in the last episode when they said, "Listen, we got a good idea. We're going to do a spin-off TV series with you as the kind of the Felix Leiter role, and the lead actor of the Danish MI5, who is going to leave MI5 and start up a European kind of Interpol action, agency, and he's going to take you with him as his sidekick, and you're going to go out there and solve crimes and murders and terror threats all over Europe." And I'm going, whoa, bring it on! And there were 5 countries involved in this, and it took 18 months to work out contracts, with the 5 different production companies.
Wow.
And in that time, the other actors got other jobs. So they rewrote the series and wrote my role out of it. So,
Oh.
damn, that shit can happen. But that series would have been all over Europe. It was the BBC were on board. It was Denmark, Sweden, Belgium, and Holland, I think it was. But anyway, c'est la guerre, as they say in France. So no, I nothing at the moment. I've got some stuff which as I say, just came in this morning. I can't talk about it
Yeah.
yet until after this interview. I'm going to talk to them actually. So yeah, it's fun. Sometimes I don't know what you think we'll plan on doing with your life, but if you're going to end up in this crazy kind of world or creative world, either in front or behind the camera in some way or other, it's a very insecure world, but it's very exciting. But you
Yeah.
need to make sure that the people around you understand your life, because it can scare the crap out of them.
Mm.
What have you got to do this week? Oh, I got nothing. What about next week? Nothing there either. And then the next 15 minutes, I'm booked up. I'm going on location to Budapest. Bye. It can go like that fast sometimes.
So, one sort of finalist question, I suppose. How did you sort of end up getting the role of Agent 47? Because I know there's quite an interesting story behind it.
Yeah, well, it is. You'll get to do this one day when you're a bit older and you find yourself doing whatever you're doing. Ask yourself some questions. How did I get here? What decision took me to this place? Or where was I when I was offered this job? And then you kind of ask yourself, okay, how did I get to that place? How did I get to this meeting? How did I get to that home? And how did I end up in this address? But you have to have some years under your belt before you can kind of look back a bit and go, well, I didn't plan that. But because it's actually really funny when you do that and you're going, well, shit, I didn't expect this. The short answer being, to be in a studio in Copenhagen as an English-speaking actor, doing a voiceover for some corporate voiceover for, I don't know what it was, a medical company or something. And in that same building, in the same company, they were doing the computer graphics for the first Hitman game in 1999, for crying out loud.
Wow.
And so they actually came in and interrupted my voiceover and said, "Hey, Dave, we're doing the computer graphics for this completely new game. Would you come and have a look at it afterwards? Because we're looking for a voice to play the lead." I went, "Yeah, sure, man. I'll just finish doing this boring job first." So I went in next door and I looked at the graphics, and it was a no-brainer. It was Hitman and Agent 47 in Hong Kong back, code name 47. And so I thought, shit, man, I'll do this for free. This is amazing. And he looks like me. But obviously it was still only an audition. If IO Interactive didn't like what I was doing, or they would have gone, okay, next. And it would have been maybe there was a whole bunch of other people. I don't know. Actually, I don't know that question.
Yeah.
But the point being that, I never would have been in that situation if I hadn't auditioned in Hammersmith for the director of this English-speaking theater company, which my agent, got the information that she was coming to town and auditioning actors. And I even jokingly said to my agent, "Are you trying to get rid of me? Where the hell is Copenhagen?" I actually said that. And then you go work back. Okay, how did I become an actor? Oh, okay. I auditioned, by accident with another girl for the National Theatre in South Africa, and she didn't turn up on the day. So I was walking out of the department, got down to the beach to go surfing, and I was stopped by a senior lecturer. He said, "Where are you going?" I went, "It's all off, can't do the audition." The girls who was doing the audition, I was just reading the other lines. She's crapped out. And he said, "Listen," very wisely, he looked at me. I was 20 years old. And he said, "David, you don't know this now because you're only 20. But this is a very big, important moment in your life." I'm going, "What?" And he said, "Listen, you mustn't let this moment go. You've got 15 minutes in a theater space in 2.5 hours, which has got your name on it." I said, "Actually, it doesn't have my name on it, because it just says this girl's name and partner," because I was too shit scared to audition. And he said, "Use that 2.5 hours time. Go upstairs now and look through your notes, relearn one of your audition speeches. All the words will come back to you." And he forced me to do this. I'm going, okay. And that led to me being accepted by the National Theatre, and that made me decide to become an actor. So actually, how I got the role of Agent 47 in Copenhagen 20 odd years later was thanks to a 36-year-old lecturer who stopped me leaving the drama department and forced me to audition to become an actor. Oh God, so that makes me laugh, because I could be doing something completely different now.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I've been an actor forever, and I love it. Right decision. So I've actually sent him an email only a couple of years ago. He now lives in San Diego. I wrote to this guy. Must be kind of really old now. And I went, "Hey, you don't know this, but you changed my life, and I like it. And I'm this foreign actor living in Copenhagen, having a rock and roll life. Best move ever." So he actually never even replied. His wife replied, said, he just says thanks. He doesn't quite know how to, take it on board, because it's quite a heavy thing to say. But, yeah. So in the future, I read somewhere, I think it was John Gielgud or something. He said, someone will always give you your first break. Someone will. You will get a job because someone gives it to you, or notices you. You know, even if you're doing your own thing, if that becomes what you're going to be really good at, someone's going to go, hey, you're good at this. Let me, share your podcast on our network, or what? And there'll be more than one person, but other people are going to kind of give you that lucky break. Yeah, you've got it all to look forward to.
Hello, and now over my lovely Sapienza gameplay. I would like to say, obviously, thank you to David Bateson. You were a pleasure to talk to, and it was great getting to obviously sit down with you, as I said at the start. And I'd also like to say, if you did enjoy this video, do subscribe. It would mean a lot. I'm at roughly 55 subscribers as of recording this, so who knows where I'll be by the time this is over. Do like the video as well, so obviously other people can see it, and maybe share it around with the people who might want to watch it. It would all be greatly appreciated. However, I would like to ask, who would you like to see me interview next? I'm hopefully going to reach out to a few people and maybe line someone else up from the Hitman games. You never know. However, until such a time arrives, I will see you all on Monday, I believe, for my Sapienza video, which you're actually watching right now. So I'm going to end it before spoilers.